Hello everyone, welcome back to the stream. Uh, well, this is basically a lazy attempt for me to, because I've got a classical game later tonight at 7 p.m. and this is just a last ditch attempt to sharpen up my calculation as soon as possible. Wherever you're watching from, I hope you're having a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whichever one it is, wherever you are in the world. And yeah, I've got a classical game at 7 p.m. today in the UK, and I've got to sharpen up my calculation because in the last game I blundered the pretty bad mate in one, and it's quite annoying actually. I was quite annoyed with how I played, and yeah. So this is basically my attempt to ensure that doesn't happen again. Because in that game, the queen was there, the bishop was there, and I just missed it, the fact that both of them were threatening mate on h7, and I just played like a dumb move, and I got mated. And I've been working hard on my chess lately. I just finished this book, Simple Chess by Michael Steen. At some point, I'm going to make a recap or like a review of the book, probably in a couple weeks, or probably next week as well. Depends. But some points this month, I'm going to make a recap of this book. And but what I notice is whenever I work on positional books, in the short term at least, not in the long term, in the short term, my calculation gets worse because I start to think in like in plans and in strategic ideas instead of like just concrete variations. You calculate, you make it work. Does it work or not? If it doesn't work, you move on to the next variation. But it's a good book by Michael Steen. He's an English grandmaster who worked with Viktor Korchnoi for his 1978 match against Karpov in the World Championship match. So it's a pretty good book. So yeah, enough yapping, or as they say, and let's get to work. So the first position we have our queen there. We're down the bishop. Seems like it. Yes. So 1, 2, 2 pawns, 2 pawns each. We're down the bishop, but well, this is why I like to solve puzzles on Lichess, because you can see the game actually. Unlike with chess.com or chess tempo has the function, but you've got to pay. Lichess, the puzzles, they feel more human because they come from human games. I know it's the same with chess.com, but the perception of the puzzles feels human, and you can actually go back to see the previous move to get an idea of what's happening. So it's obvious in this position we've sacrificed our bishop. The question is, what compensation do we get for the sacrifice? Well, it's obvious that there's a pin on the queen. So I assume there's not a pin, but like there's a potential attack by our rook on the queen. We just have to find the right way to do it. So obviously this check doesn't work because the queen blocks. This check is dumb because the bishop takes it. This check, the queen blocks. I don't know. Do we take? Do we get anything there? Unlikely. I mean, this rook seems loose as well. If the queen blocks, is there a way to win this rook? So check there. The queen blocks. Then we check there and we pick up this rook. But then I've got to be careful that there's no bishop h6 ideas threatening mate. It doesn't work because my king is aside, so I can just take the bishop. Actually, hold on. I guess I can just... Can I... Hold on. Let me... So, bishop... What's the difference between queen check? Queen check there is much better because I have the idea to come there and pick up the rook. So, queen check. Okay. Let me just check something real quick. Just go on email. Okay, all good. So, queen check on there. If the queen blocks, obviously the queen has to block because of this attack on the queen. We check on there. The king goes, I don't know, the queen can block, I guess. Or the queen can block, so there's no bishop h6. And if the king goes back, then we pick up the rook with check. Okay, that seems like it works. Check, check, pick up this rook. Okay, move on to the next one. So in the game, what actually happened in the game? So they had this position, pick up the knight, the queen goes, Goes back. Check. That's quite nice. Check. Check. Loose pieces drop off. I think that quote is attributed to John Nunn. I'm not quite sure who actually made the original quote, but it's something that the late Grandmaster Naroditsky used a lot in his videos, LPDO, loose pieces drop off. Yeah, it still feels weird actually saying the late Grandmaster because like I watch his videos almost every day, so in a way it feels like he's alive, but yeah, it's just quite unfortunate. So this one's an endgame position. Just adjust this camera a little bit. It's a bit. My head is a bit cut off. I think that's better. Okay. Um. So what do we have in this one? So we're playing with the white pieces. 2 pawns. There's 3 pawns there. Bishop, bishop. Opposite colored bishop endgame. They usually say this is a draw. That's what they usually say, but there are some exceptions in chess, like in everything else in life. And we've got these 2 guys that are matching up. These guys are frozen. They can't actually move. They can't actually move without this bishop just chopping them off. So we got like a free sort of stuff. We can check there. The king goes there. Then we check again. The king comes down. They go up. Then they can block our bishop. They can block the pawn. And well, if they block, I guess we can take there. So we check. I don't know where the king goes. Where does the king go? The king can go anywhere. That's the issue. That's the issue. Okay, the king can go there. And we can't push this one because the bishop takes it. And we're sort of pushing our luck there way too far. Can we force black into some sort of like zugzwang where the bishop moves, then we take this guy? So what even happening in the game? So let's go back a few moves. Well, it seems like a regular position. Okay, I've seen an idea actually. So we can check there. But I have a bad feeling if we check too soon, this bishop could potentially sack and like, I don't know. Potentially could sacrifice itself for the pawns and it's a draw. Okay, I think now we can go king there, attacking the bishop. The bishop is restricted to these 2 squares. This is obviously bad because the king takes it. And if the king goes there, then we can check to force the king to go there to defend the bishop. That's on the square. So check, force the king to go there to defend the bishop. So king there first, bishop there. Check, force the king to go back to defend the bishop. Then we've got 2 checks. We've got a check there. Then the king can drop back and defend the bishop. We can actually deflect the king with this check. We've got this check there. The king comes back up. Can we push the pawn now? I think we can. So let's just do that again. King there, bishop there, check. No. King there, bishop there, check. King up, check. King down or up. If he goes down, we check again, and the king has to decide between stopping the pawn and defending the bishop. Then at the end of the day, we've got this 1 pawn. We're going to win this guys, and our king is going to assist to make this guy to become a queen. So I think that's the right move. King there, then check again, then check again, then we win this bishop. Okay. This is some good stuff. Okay. Yeah, success. Let's go on to the next one. So what is exactly happening in the position? Our bishop has been attacked by the queen. This pawn is kind of weak. We have rook, queen, bishop against rook, queen, and knight. 2 pawns, 5. So we're down a pawn, but it doesn't seem to be a huge big deal because we seem to be attacking the king. The question is, how do we actually proceed with the attack? What's the most efficient way actually? So if we check there, we can just block. That doesn't seem too good. Can we sack this bishop? But what is the threat exactly? Because then they can start to check our king and we start to run. But wait, hold on. If it works, it works. We also have this check, which seems to be powerful. I think that might be the move. We check there. The king takes. We've got 2 checks. I prefer this one, getting the bishop into the attack as soon as possible. The king has to come back this way. If the king goes there, then we check and mate. So rook takes, king takes, bishop takes, king h2. Check. King goes back. Check. No, we can go there, but then there might be some. Okay, there's no perpetual actually. Hold on. Rook takes, king takes, check, king h2. Check. King goes back. And I believe we can plant our bishop there with mate on the next move. The question is, does white have perpetual? No, because our queen defends this one. And there's no way to get rid of this bishop. Threatening mates there. The king can't actually run. I think that's the move. Check. 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 And there. Then we take the queen. Nice. Let me actually see if anyone is watching. View the chat. Well, hold on. How do I even view that? I don't even know how to work this app. I'm still very much new to this, so it might take a bit of time to get a handle of what's happening there. The chat. Okay, that's the chat right there. Okay, there hasn't been a chat so far, so we're good. Do I need to sign into chat? Okay. Okay, let's just get this done real quick. Should probably sorted all of this out before I went live, but like I said, I'm still very much new to this, so it's gonna take a bit of time to get a handle of this. Okay, you know what? Ignore this. This is okay. View stream chat. I think that's the one. Is that the one? If it isn't, then it isn't. I don't know. Okay, it asked me to enter into my password. That isn't what I want to do, so we can sort this out later on, because I don't actually know the password off the top of my head. I'm just gonna put the chat on my phone if there's any, and from the next one we can sort it out. What's happening there? Okay. Oh yeah, we have a chat. Oh nice. From DH Germany. I'm just gonna put the chat on my phone right there, so I can actually see and respond. Hi. Well, welcome. Apologies. This is just a bit too unprofessional, but we're gonna get there eventually. So Thank you for sending in a message. Appreciate it. So let's go on to the next one. So what do we have here? So there's a queen there, queen, bishop, knight, bishop, two bishops. What else? Two rooks. So we're down 2 pawns. We're down 2 pawns, but we've got the two bishops, and we seem like we have a bit of an attack going our way right here. A bit of an attack. The question is, how do we actually achieve the attack? Okay. This was a game played by National Master Andre Salama. I don't know who that. And Finlido from Scotland. 2400 strength in bullet. That's quite strong actually. So how does white proceed in this position? Our queen seems well placed on h5 to do some funky stuff actually. Take. Oh, hold on. I figured it out actually. We can take this knight. The pawn has to take. If the queen takes, we take the queen and we win. That's not too difficult. But the point is to create a double attack on g7, and the only way to stop it is to play f6. Then we pick up this bishop. So we go there, f6, check. Okay. That's quite nice. So go on to the next one. Okay, this one is more endgame style. The king is boxed in. The king is cut off on the last rank by our rook. Well, the first thing I'm looking at is this, but then the rook checks us and we have to come back. But the king seems to be almost mated actually. So check there. The king goes there, for example. What do we do then? We can't actually push this pawn because they check us, and we have to defend our rook. And if we go there, then we lose because a check there, they pick up our rook. Hold on, no, do we lose? We queen though. Okay, that's not too. Let's take our time for this one. There's no need to rush. It's the end games. Never rush. Okay, we can take on there, or can we take? Rook takes, push. They come back. They sack the rook for the pawn, and we lose. So don't do that. Can we push immediately? Then they check us. We come back. Then the king can come up, right? Because we can't actually push the pawn because the rook takes it. I don't really like rook endgames, so this one is quite instructive for me. I have to find a way to like. Yeah, this one ingrained in my head from both like a calculation perspective and also the concept as well. So if I do get this one, or even if I don't, I have to understand the concepts, because rook ending is something I regularly mess up in almost all my games, in blitz, rapid, classical, whatever. It's something I always mess up. So I have to get this quite right. When did you first learn to play chess? It's a good question. I played. So when I first learned to play chess, I played on my I first got my first laptop when I was like 11 or something. Then I played against there was this app, there was this software. It was like an old Microsoft. I think it's Microsoft Windows 8 or something, and it was it came with this chess app. And I played against the bots there. I wasn't quite sure what I was doing, but I was just playing a few games. Then if I make a mistake, I take it back. I win all the pieces, but I couldn't quite checkmate. And that's basically what I was doing for a little while. And eventually I sort of lost interest in it. I didn't play chess again for like a long time. Then I got back into chess in in lockdown because, well, there's nothing else to do and I'm stuck inside. So I I saw Gotham Chess and other YouTubers. I'm like, okay, seems pretty cool, and I started to play chess in lockdown. I got the chess.com account. I was like 700, and it took me ages to get up to like 900 and above. So yeah, that's my story on how I got into chess. It's not very eventful, but it's my story. How about you? When did you start to play chess, and why did you get into chess in the first place? Okay. We have to solve this actually. These rook endgame puzzles, I find them so difficult to play. I don't know why. Can we check there? So the checks don't seem to me to do anything because, or does it? So we check there. The king comes up. Then we push. That seems good. We check. The king comes up. We push. If they check us, we can always go around this way and attack the rook. And we're going to promote this guy. Then win this two with rook and checkmate the king. So I think that looks good. Then we push. Okay, you can do this. Oh, wait, what? Wait, what am I missing here? What am I missing? So why can't we just put? Oh yeah, these two pawns. So we can't stop both of them. I'm guessing. So can we take one of them first? So take. I don't know. This looks ridiculous. What is this? So I guess we can take on there. Then go there. So what is the answer? Is it take on there or it is taking on there? Then we have to come around this way. Okay, makes sense. But from like so why doesn't this work from like a conceptual point of view? So we push. So what happens in this line? So say we get a queen, they take the queen, they push, we go there. We can't stop both of them at the same time because we're gonna lose. Thank you for your detail. I learned to play chess as a boy. I only started playing chess seriously 3 years ago. I'm 1600 on Lichess Rapid. It's my first time on your channel. Nice to meet you. Well, thank you very much for your message. I think this is actually the first message I've got on my live streams in a while. Well, this is something I intend to do much often. I've got a bunch of content lined up as well. So yeah, I'm happy you find this to be useful and instructive in some way, and I would appreciate if you leave a like and subscribe because that's gonna help to share this with everyone else. Yeah, if you think this is good, then yeah, I would appreciate if you subscribe. But yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it. You're welcome, and I hope to see you more on future episodes, I guess. Not quite episodes, but future episodes of this. And if hopefully I win my match, which I've got tonight in classical. Okay, this is a pawn endgame. Pawn endgame. These two are doubled up. So are we playing with black? Oh yes, we're playing with black. So they played a4. My first instinct. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. So my first instinct is to play a5 to just freeze this guy. But I realized something from my blitz. Because I've been playing not quite a lot of blitz. What's funny, okay. I signed a contract with my friend. I wouldn't say a contract it's not like a strict contract, but it's a contract I signed with my friend where I can't lose more than 3 blitz games a day. If I lose 3 blitz games, I have to stop. So essentially, the whole idea is to make me to play less blitz chess because I used to play blitz chess way too much. Where late into the night, I'm playing like 40 games a night, and and it's just a bad habit in general. So the whole aim of this contract is to make me to stop the bad habit of playing blitz way too much. So instead, I do stuff like this, which is much more constructive, where I actually improve my chess instead of just playing mindless blitz for hours. So yeah, I think that's a good contract. But what was I about to say before that? I was about to say something. I've lost track of my thoughts. Uh, yeah, I was about to say like I don't like to trust my instincts, my first instinct, especially in chess anymore, because what seems to be natural in my blitz games lately, I've just been losing out of it. But my first instinct in this position is just to play a5 to make sure these guys they never move. And but we have to make sure your intuition is also backed up by concrete calculation. So if we play a5, what could white do? They've got these two guys matching down the board, so my king can't be too adventurous. Um, so if we play a5, if they push, then we take it. If they push there, we can just drop, and our king is in the box. And if they can't win this pawn, because then this guy matches up, and their king is... So my king can't be too adventurous, theirs can't be too adventurous. The only thing that seems logical to me is to stop these guys from moving. So I'm going to play a5. Well, so I can't take this way because they're going to have a pass pawn and a pass pawn there, and my king can't stop both of them. So I'm going to take this way. And what to do now? I have to force them into some sort of zugzwang. I guess I can drop back, because their king can actually go anywhere. Their king can't be too adventurous. Their king can't take this pawn. This pawn is this pawn cannot be captured by the king. I can drop back this way. If they take, then I can push. If they go up, then I can attack this pawn and win this pawn. If they come back to defend it, I have this move b6. Is that b? What am I doing? Not b6. b6 is there. I get this mixed up all the time. Well, this is what happens when you don't play chess as a kid. You get into it much later on in life. You miss like simple stuff like this. But that aside, king to e7, and my whole aim is to force white into zugzwang. E7, they can't take there because I push. If they go back, I come to f6, force them to go there again, then I push, they go up, then I win this guy. That seems good. Yeah, that seems to be pretty good actually. That seems good. Let's move on to the next one. So this one seems to be more attacking. We've got a very active rook on the first rank. Got a very active rook on the first rank. We've got our queen and knight well placed to the attack, and this bishop might be useful actually. It's placing a lot of pressure along this way. This was a game between a FIDE master from Lithuania and T1 Savage. The account is closed. Okay, let me just see what happened in the game actually. We get a bunch of moves. We got a bit of an... Wait, did he sack a pawn? Yeah, yes, he did. He sacrificed a pawn to get his rook active. The bishop defends the bishop. Now he's attacking the knight. Where do we move this knight? Or do we move this knight? That's the question. Do we move this knight? Well, for one, I can see there's pressure this way. So I don't think... I think we can utilize the pressure this way if they take this knight. So can we sacrifice the knight, and how? That's good. I don't even know what's happening here. Can we sacrifice this knight, and how? So the last move was... Oh, that's not even the last move. So after f5, our knight just dropped back. So this is the actual position in the exercise. Okay, this is more logical. So I guess we can take there. because now the bishop has moved. The bishop is no longer defending the knight. So what's the order we're gonna do it in? Do we take here first, then take there, or is it more precise to take there first to get this rook away, then take there? That is the question. Which move order is more precise? I like the idea of taking there first. Or does that work? I don't think that works, because if we take there first, rook takes, a check. They don't have to take. Well, they can take and lose, because, hold on. No, not quite, because they can stop mate. Nah, they can't, because we can check and pick up the rook. Man, this is complicated. But then what happens? So, hold on. If we take there first, the rook moves. We take, say they take back, then we take threatening mate there. Say the rook blocks this way. We check, king up, win the rook with check, then we win the bishop, I guess. Okay, that seems to work. So we take first, rook takes, we check, they take, we take, threatening mate. Only way to stop mate is to move the rook up. We check, king up, we take, then we take the bishop. Then the other line is knight takes first. Then if rook takes, then we take there with check, and we take there. Question is, which move order is more precise? Which one leads to the most? I think both of them should win. But which one is the better move? Is it rook takes or knight takes first? So knight takes first. It's check. The king goes up there. Okay, I don't like knight takes first. Actually, that doesn't work. So knight takes first. King comes up there. It seems like it should win, but not quite. Because taking there isn't the best move, because then we can take there and the rook is pinned. But hold on though. Take there, rook is pinned, king up there. We can take there, check. Okay, I like this one much better. Oh no. So it's knight takes there first. Then take there. So what's the difference? Let me just turn the engine on, because I can't seem to figure out the difference for this one. What's wrong with rook takes there first? Rook d1, knight g3. Yeah, they can come up. I thought they couldn't do that, but I guess they can. Yeah, I didn't sort of like evaluate this in my calculation, because I thought they couldn't go there. I guess they can. I mean, that's what a friend of mine said yesterday. He was referencing another friend of mine who said something like, in chess, don't think about, oh, it doesn't look right, it shouldn't work. You have to calculate whether it works or not. So I guess I had a feeling that this should not work, but I should have just verified whether it worked or not. Because yes, the king is in a dangerous position, but there's no way to actually capitalize on the fact that the queen is being attacking the king. So that's why this move order was more precise. Because if they take, then we can check, and I guess we can take there, then pick up the bishop at the very least. Do you have a chess coach? I don't have a chess coach, like in the sense like, oh, I have a coach who I take lessons with, but I've got a few friends who are like strong, like 2100 strength FIDE. I've got a friend who's an FM. I've got a friend who's like a national master as well. So I've got a few friends who are pretty good. And whilst they're not really my coach in the sense that like, they help me to analyze my games, they teach me lessons. Me being with them every day, analyzing with them, having blitz games against them, longer games against them, I pick up a lot from them. So I would say these guys are my coaches. Even if it's not in a direct way, in an indirect way, just being around these guys who are like really good, I learn a lot from them. So I guess it's kind of funny, because in anything in life, if you want to get good at it, easiest way is to surround yourself with people who are good at it, and that's something which I've been fortunate to get ever since, especially since I moved to Liverpool, England. Yeah, I've met a lot of lads here who are like incredibly good at chess. Like, so yeah. If that answers your question, I know it's a bit long. Just let me know if my answers are a bit too long, and I'm going to give you a much more professional short answer, yes or no. So back to the puzzle. My intuition said this here first, then take, but that's just wrong. This is why I don't like to trust the intuition. I just like to calculate. So this is much better because you get rid of the option of the king trying to run. Or hold on. What if you take that? What if the king runs like in the other line? Okay, now it's different because you can check and win the rook. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. So what's happening in this position? Opposite colored bishops, 2 pawns there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, on the other hand, if you would like me to be your chess coach, actually, like I give lessons, so you can pop me a message, and if you would like to, I'm going to leave my email address on the chat. If you would like me to be your chess coach, you can pop me an email. Let me just whack it on there. Yeah, from the next one, I'm gonna find a way to like, because now the chat, I'm sort of viewing it on my phone, and I don't think that's very efficient. I've got to find a much better way to put it on my laptop, because I don't really know how to work this OBS app quite yet. I'm quite new to this. Your answers are not long, not at all. I appreciate you taking the time to answer my question thoroughly. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, if you have questions, feel free to ask them, because I like to, as you can already see, I like to answer questions in like a much more rich way, instead of just being a bit like a antisocial guy, just be like, oh yes or no. I like to actually take my time to answer questions. So I'm happy you don't think I'm a bit too talkative in a way. So what's happening here? So our queen has been attacked. This queen is defending the long diagonal, so we can't quite check, or can we? Check there, king up. Okay, bishop blocks. If bishop blocks, we can take this pawn, but then they take this pawn, and it's starting to look like anarchy. Hold on though, we can check there. King goes there, then we come around this way, and I don't think there's a way to stop mate on the back rank. So there are some ideas on there actually, but if check, then I don't know. If check, then king comes up. What to do there? Oh, hold on. Why do we want to rush the check? There's a checklist. They usually say you look at the checks first, the captures and the attacks. In this position, we have 2 checks. One check there. I mean, we got a check there, but obviously it's bad. One check there, one check there, and one check there. This check, obviously bad. We get this out of the way. This check, queen takes, bishop takes, opposite colored bishop endgame, likely to be a draw. This check looks interesting, but after king up, I don't see how we can make something out of it. So now we look at the attacks. If we come there, we're threatening to check now to win the queen, because the queen is quite compromised. But the question is after queen checks, and also if our queen goes there, this check is looking ever so much more juicy now, because they say in chess, when you have opposite colored bishop endgames, it favors the attacking side. because you're basically up a piece, because this bishop can do nothing to stop the attack by this bishop. So I'm thinking queen goes there. Big deal, they check us on there, our king runs, and they don't have a good way to stop the fact that our bishop is going to come around this way, our queen comes this way, and we're going to mate this king on g1, or probably on f2 as well, but most likely on there. So I like this move. Oh, it doesn't work. So what's the answer? Oh, this is much better. This is much better because you cut the king off first. But doesn't this win as well? Let me see the multiple lines of the engine. 2 lines. Let's see. Let's see if my move was abysmal. Probably not. Okay, it probably is. It doesn't work. Queen b2 they can take. Check. But I thought we can mate the king. Oh, they've got this nasty check there. Oh, okay. Calculate, man. Don't just do stuff because it feels right. Queen there is a better move, because now you're threatening the checkmate already. This is just my move is just a threat, but the threat is not actually good because they can just take on there. So we've got how many so far? How many have we done? I intend to do a fair few. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, let's do a bit more then. We call it a day for this. So this is a rook ending from a blitz game by Usain786 and Vadim Chess 82. 2200 against 2198. So first and first, do we have a check? Nope, we do not have a check. Can we take on there? They take back. And what to do there? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. They've got these guys matching down the board. Okay, this is quite difficult actually. I've got to lock in on this one. Got to lock in on this one. It's quite lucky on this one. What's happening here? Intuition in chess is useful for finding candidate moves, but we need to calculate all the lines first before we verify which one is best. Exactly, and that's one thing which sort of like hinders me in chess, because my intuition always leads me to like the right ideas. For example, like in this one, I failed. I had the right idea. Same with these two as well. But having the right idea is only one thing. But you have to. I mean, they say chess is sort of the same with life, or chess teaches you lessons in life. This is the same in life. You might have the right idea. Oh, like I want to do something. I want to make some investments. But the idea is good, but you have to find the best way to execute the idea. Execution is more important than the idea itself, because the right idea could be bad if it's not executed in the right way. So I had the right idea with like moving the queen in to bring in the bishop, but I didn't quite execute the idea in the most efficient way. So yeah, you're right on that. Intuition is absolutely amazing, but even much more better than intuition is calculation. You have to just be a monster and just calculate it out, find the best move, and hopefully win. Talking about calculation, what do we do in this position? So we can take there, rook takes. So checks, captures, attacks. Those are the checklist that we use. I guess I don't even know who sort of like made up the whole idea of checks, captures, and attacks, but it's quite useful actually. So for checks, we don't have a check. The king is quite insulated. Captures, we have just this one capture. Attack, well, we could attack this rook, but they can take there, so that's terrible. Uh, we can move the rook away, but then we just get this rook blocking us off. If we take it, so what do we actually do in this one? This one is quite hard actually. What is happening there? Can we push this guy? They take back, or they can just take on there with checks. So note to self: every capture on there is a check. So we have to sort of this tension on there. We have to do something to respond against it. So I'm guessing we take. But the resulting rook ending, I don't like it because I think we're just going to lose because what do we have here? Okay, yes, we push this guy, but it's going to take us ages to match this up the board. I don't know what's happening here, man. Jeez, this one is quite difficult. This one is quite difficult, actually. So can we move the king? What does that do? They take, we take back with the king. Does that make a difference? Say they play h5. Well, what do we do there? Are we just lost? Can we take? They take. We push. Hold on though. We might have ideas because I think it's quite fortuitous that our rook is behind this guy. So can we do something like rook takes, a4, say h5, a5. Can they push there? Nope, they can't push there because we take it. So rook takes, take a4. I don't know. What can they actually do? Say h5, then we push a5. We're threatening b6, and just to push this guy because they say rook should be behind the pawn, and our rook is just conveniently behind this guy. So we might not just be as lost as I initially thought we were. So can we take there? Can we take there? They take a5. This check doesn't do much because we just move our king up, and they have to get the rook up and above to get there. So rook takes, take, push, check, there, a5, rook back. Yeah, does that work for us? Because they can take, push, then the rook blockades it, and then they're pushing these guys. Okay, take, rook takes, push, check, up, there, push, back, push. I mean, they don't have to take there, so they can go there. They can go there. They don't actually have to take us on there. They can just go up this way and just blockade. So that idea looked interesting for a little while, but I might have to toss that idea aside for now. See if I can find something else. So candidate moves. I don't see anything. I don't want to take this rook. I don't like the rook ending. That rook ending doesn't seem promising. But that's the thing as well with these, like with rook endings. Like there's some positions where it seems like you're losing, but you might have like a move out of the blue where you're winning. So it's not too obvious that it's either I mean, in most situations it might be like either a draw or it's lost, but there are some exceptions. So this might just be one of those where it's surprisingly winning. So can we take there, take back, push? I don't like. I feel like this is too slow. But once again, I'm using words like I feel like. I think I should be more concrete. So take a4, check, king up, rook there, a5, rook back. But if rook back, push, a6, and it seems like our whole idea has been shot. Can we go there? They take back, then they just defend this guy, and they're gonna push on the next move. So that also doesn't work. Okay. What if we step aside instead? Can we step aside? What does that do? Well, they can't go there, because if they do, we just we take it. But if we go there, then they push h5. What are we trying to achieve? Because if we check there, we can't win this pawn, because then it's mate on the back row. Mate on the back row, back rank, whichever. Man, this is difficult. I think this is the most difficult one I've done all day, actually. This one is kind of hard. So if we go there, then they can just do something like this. What am I missing here? What am I missing? Is there a resource I am missing? This looks interesting. Actually, I've got to lock in. What am I missing? What am I missing? What am I missing? A4. Nope. They take us and his mate. Man, this is hard. Oh wait. Can we take back, then we go there to win this guy? What's the evaluation of that endgame? Are we winning that endgame, or? Well, it does look interesting. That endgame is definitely much more interesting, because we've got this guy. This guy is more advanced than any of these. So that does look interesting. They take rook a4. If we win this pawn, then things start to look a bit much more promising, so to say. So let's calculate it out, because if this was a game, I can't just take there without adequate confirmation. So let's see this line. Rook takes, take rook a4, say h5, because there's no way to defend this guy. So we take it, h4. Can we bring our rook back? I don't know. That looks a bit. Wait, hold on. Rook takes, they take rook a4, h5, take with check, king f6. I think f6 is better. Is it? King f6. Then we push. Ooh, this is nice. Then we push. How do they stop this? Say they do the same idea now with rook there. Then we push. Then we go to the back row, and that does seem like it wins. Okay, now they go. Okay, this is slightly different, because now they go king f6 instantly instead of h5 first. But does that make it different? Does that make the line different? I think we can take on there. Yeah, and we're winning this endgame. So they say they go rook to d5. Then in endgames, there's no need to rush. We can go b6, rook b5, b7, d5, a4, rook there. King c2 does win, but they can play this. They can go a5. Say they start to push theirs as well. Rook a6. We block. Oh, that is nice. That is really nice. Rook b6. So from the initial position, well, it looked like we couldn't take on there, but this is why if you're watching, your message is right. Intuition in chess is useful, but ultimately it comes down to calculation. So rook takes, rook a6, rook a4, and this pawn is more advanced than any of these guys, and we're just gonna match it up the board. That is very nice. Yeah, I like this one. I'm actually going to save this one. I don't know if I can save something on Lichess. How do I save this? I would like to save this so I can sort of like show this to my friends later on. How do I? Is there a way? Well, if not, I can just take a picture of this. If I can't quite. Actually, not a picture. I can take a picture. I can take a picture, but is there a way to save this exercise? Hold on a minute. Let me do this instead. I really like this one actually. I'm going to just save this like this and save. Okay, we've done a fair few. On the left side, you can click. Does that work? Nah, it doesn't quite work actually. But I guess my way is a bit less fancy, but it gets the job done. It's efficient, I guess. So for this one, our bishop is being attacked, but we've got rook attacked, bishop attacked. What? Jeez, what happened there? So from this position, it looked relatively normal. Then it became insane later on. Oh, that is a nice move because the king takes, you push. Hold on, does that work? Why can't you just? So instead of f5, why can't you just take on there? Wait. Say they take on there. What do we actually get out of this? Is there something I'm missing? Why can't the king just? Well, this is the actual game. It's a blitz game, so I assume. Well, but these guys are good, so I'm sure they didn't miss this. Why can't you just take on there? Say king takes. If they push, you go there. I don't know. What am I missing in this position? Say they promote, you take it, they take, and you just up a rook. Well, he didn't take. He went f5. So what difference does f5 make in the position? That's the question. Because I feel like in this position you can just take on there. I don't know what I'm missing. If I'm missing something obvious, I'm going to be like very annoyed because what am I missing exactly? I'm actually like intrigued as to why we can't just take on there. Oh well. This is what we have to solve, not this one. Okay, what is happening here? Say bishop attacking rook, king attacking rook, pawn attacking bishop. But somehow we've got something nice which I'm missing. Which isn't a surprise because, like I said, tactically of late I've been a mess. A proper mess. So we push, the same idea, I guess. They can just block. And if we get this pawn there, then they chop it off. So we can't do that actually. So what can we do? We have to do something. So check, king takes. I don't see where we're headed with that. Check, king takes. We shake hands and go home. We've lost the game. Or have we? Or knight can take as well. Do we have any other checks? We've got this check. What good does that do? King takes. And it seems to me like we're losing there. Because they can take our bishop on the next move. And this pawn isn't going anywhere. Once again, they've got bishop there. Okay, no problem. Man, this is hard. So checks, captures, attacks. We can capture there. We can capture there. We can capture there. We can capture. Yeah, I think that's about it. We've got a capture this way, a capture there, a capture this way, and a capture there. All of them seem to be just bad. Attacks. Do we have an attack? We've got this. Hold on. I just found something really nice. I thought we couldn't push. Well, in this one, I felt like the king could have just taken on there. But it's insane in chess how a single move just makes all the difference. Because now, with f5, we can push. If bishop there, we check. We win the bishop. And how do they stop this guy on the next move? Oh, that is nice. So we push, they take, and we make a queen. Who cares about this guy? We push. We make a wait. Or can we make a knight? Nah, let's not be way too nice here. Hold on. Once again, I've got to be careful. If I promote first to a queen, they've got this check, nasty check. King there, rook there, seems to be mate because after king up, checkmate with the queen. So we can't rush this. This is always there. There's no need to rush it. I think it's much more better to just stake on there first because this move is always there in our hands. We've got this one. So wait, if we promote to a queen, if we rush it, then we get checkmated after takes there, check up, mate. So we have to take there first. Then we make a queen. Nice. Oh, that is hard. I can feel my head exploding already. Oh. Yeah, this was also nice. I wish I can save this actually. It's a shame. I think Lichess should make a function where you can just save all the stuff because it would be pretty good. And this is why I like to solve on Lichess instead of like on, once again, on chess.com or on Chess Temple, because on Lichess you can actually see the actual game and see what happened. So obviously, we've solved this already, so I think we can push, then we take, and we check. But that aside, I want to see what happened. Why can't you just take the rook? Hold on. I mean, it's a blitz game, so mistakes happen. Yeah, you can just take the rook and they push, big deal. But I guess they were probably low on the clock. Can I see the game? This is the actual game. Okay, at this point, he had 1 minute on the clock. So, okay, I mean, with 1 minute, you can just take this rook. But I guess he played f5 thinking, I'm going to win more. And what's funny, in the game, he found it. He rushed it. In the game, he missed the fact that he could check there, then check there, and check there. Yeah, this is nice. Well, this isn't an advert for Lichess, but this is why I prefer for games. I prefer chess.com, but for like to train for exercises, I prefer Lichess because um the exercises feel a bit more human because they come from actual games that I haven't played, and you can see the games to see what happened in the games, what mistakes we were made in the games, how did the actual what happened in the actual game, did they find the right move or not. So I think that's a handy function which Lichess has that the other websites don't quite have, except the fact that you can't actually save the exercises just yet. So if they're watching, please make that function. Haven't we already solved this? Yes, we have. No, push, we take, then we check. Okay, next one. Okay, so this one is an end game. What happened? They took our bishop on c6. So I'm guessing we have to take back. But how? Hold on. So we take back. What do they do? And how do we actually win this? So we've got, if we take back, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 against 1. Well, this one is going to fall as well. So I guess, so we take there. They have to make a move. Where do they move? I'm guessing they can push. But if they push, we take. And if their king moves, we take this pawn. So say they defend this one. Then we push again. If the pawn takes, we push it again and we make a queen. So that's one idea to get. So we take. If the king moves once again, we take this pawn, and that looks good for us. But hold on, if the king moves there, we can't quite take this pawn. Because when they push up, oh yes we can. We can go up to defend the pawn. And we're going to push. So we take, the king goes there, we take, king goes up, we go up as well. But how do we win this? It looks like we're winning it, but I don't just want to just solve the exercise. I want to see how do we actually win this. Take, goes there is just abysmal because we can take on there, and that's just bad. So I think the best move for black is to go over there. Then we take, they attack this pawn, we defend the pawn. What do they do next? If they attack this pawn, we push this pawn up. Say they go back. From that position, how do we win this? We've got a pawn there, a pawn there, a pawn there, our king there, black king there. How do we win that position? What's the plan? Do we push this one further up? I don't see the plan to actually win it in the end. I know we're winning, but that's not enough. How do we actually win? Well, I can sense we're winning because, but how do we win that? We take, they go there, we take, they go up, we go up, they attack this pawn, we defend the pawn. And if they just go back, what do we do to win? Yeah, endgames is something which I realize I've got to do a bit of. Can we sacrifice this one and go around? So we take there, obviously, they go there, we take, they go up, we go there, they go there, we go up, they go there. Can we sacrifice by going there, they go there, we go, they take this one, we go there. Because if we win, if we can win this guy, there's no need to worry about this or this, because we're just gonna push this up the board. So now I can see a way we can win this. So it looks more logical how we're going to win. So we take, we defend the pawn. So we can go around this way. Okay, that I did not see, but I guess we're much faster. They go there. We can take. Okay, I think in the worst case, we're gonna make a queen first. Okay, makes sense. Whew, that is hard. Success. Let's go. How long have I been going for actually? I think I might stop soon because I've got to go make breakfast and do other stuff for the day. Okay, I'm gonna solve a bit more, then I call it a day. So slightly a bit more then. What's happening in this position? So we're playing white. They have. So we're up a piece. It seems like we've got this knight, but they've got these ones pushing down. Well, not quite. We've got this nice bishop. So oh, we're playing white, not black. Oh, okay. Wake up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. We're down a piece. But this guy seems to be quite dangerous. Oh, that is nice. We've got a fork there. If they take it, then we push. It doesn't quite work because the bishop can come back. Ah, bishop's annoying. So if we fork first, they take. We don't take back, then we push. What happens there? Then bishop comes back to defend. Okay, that doesn't work. Nice. Can we deflect this bishop? Is there a way to deflect that bishop away from this diagonal? Doesn't seem like it. Can we check? Then play this one. But then they can take us and take there and stop the pawn. I'm guessing if we try to win this pawn, they're gonna win this pawn. So that doesn't seem to win as well. Then what to do? What to do then? What to do? What to do? What to do? I can't seem to see. Okay. This fork idea looked nice, but it doesn't work because the bishop comes there in the end. Can we make the idea work? Can we make the idea work? That's the question. That's the $1,000,000 question right there. Can we make the idea work? Knight c5, they chop it off. Push, bishop covers the square. So this knight is covering this square and the pawn is being attacked. We're placing all our hopes on this guy. This guy is our big investment. Huge investment. We have to do everything we can to get it across the board. But how do we achieve that? Well, we've got this one. If bishop takes, we've got a fork on there. Okay, that looks good. We've got this move. We've got this move. We've got this move. If bishop takes, we fork. The king has to come this way. Then we can take. If we push, the king comes across and stops our pawn from promoting. Ah, annoying. But we don't have to rush. No, we don't have to actually rush it just yet because we've got these two. So I'm guessing we can bring the king at some point. There's no need to. If we win a piece back, there's no need to rush to push this guy. We can take our time and bring the king up. And so I'm guessing b5. If knight's there, then there. And now it's a whole different situation. Because when we fork now, if the knight comes back, say the knight comes back there. When we fork now, but the knight doesn't have to come back there though. The knight can go there. But if the knight goes there, then we push this way. And that looks unstoppable. So let's see that line again. b5, knight comes back. b6, knight a5. Knight c5 looks really good. Because if knight takes now, we can push this way. The knight comes there, we can push again. That seems good. b5, bishop takes, we fork and we win this guy. So in that position with our knight, with our knights there, this pawn there, I'm guessing that the plan to win is to bring the king, because we can't rush by pushing the pawn because the king steps across and we win the pawn. Or can we use this guy as like a deflection? Can we just leave this one this one there? So when we come back to b5, we leave this one there. If the king wins this pawn, the time the king takes to win this pawn, we're going to come across this way. And the king still has to stop this one. If they defend, then we push up even more and we're going to win this guy and win everything else. So I guess that does win. Yeah. And now if the king comes up, we can just... I mean, my plan was to go there. And eventually we're going to match our king up. If g6, king comes up. If they take, then they just lose. So knight c5 looks interesting. This should win, no? I mean, my method of winning doesn't seem very efficient, but it seems like it should win. Well, it should win. Okay. Oh, I'm tired. It seems like it should win. So this one, it's an endgame puzzle as well. We've got this one to win the knight back. We're down a rook. We're down a rook. They've got two rooks and a minor piece. We've got one rook and a minor piece. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They've got 5 themselves. But we're down a rook. So but the king is compromised. On one hand, I'm just looking at this. How would they stop this move? Just king there. The knight is pinned. They can't move the knight. They can they check? If I go there just too soon, I'm guessing they have g6. No, not g6. They've got this one, but I'm guessing we can come across this way instead. But on one hand, if I go there too soon, they've got a check. Well, if I step across, can they block with this? I don't think that works, because I can just... My whole plan is to come across to the h file anyways. That's the whole idea, is to come across to the h file. Say I come there. They win this pawn. I move across. What if they make luft for the king, for example? They go there. Then I come across. Then the king runs. But the king doesn't run anywhere because that's just mate. They take my queen. Then the knight takes and the bishop is cutting off the escape square from the king. So on one hand, this move just looks interesting, but the queen can just take it. So my best bet is to go for this. We're threatening mate. They can stop it with this move, but that just loses to the queen coming across, which is the same idea in the other line, where I want to get my queen across to h6 anyways. So queen up, queen checks, king steps aside. If queen blocks this way, then I can just come across this way. And I'm threatening a huge mate on there. If rook steps across, that's too slow because I can come across. Okay, that looks like it wins. So the idea was to come there. Do we have a better move? I don't think we do. Okay, that is quite annoying, but I'm guessing we get our rook back. Okay. We get our rook back, and we still have a strong attack. Say king up now. Then take. If rook takes, and we've got this check there. Then a check there. Then we take, and this endgame is winning because these pawns are too strong. Okay, that does make sense. On to the next one. This is a game between an international master, 2600, from the Czech Republic, Czechia now, and this guy who has a higher rating than I am. Okay, what is this position? It looks like a minor piece endgame, but it's tactical in nature. It's very tactical in nature, actually. For one, I'm just looking at this sacrifice. A piece takes on there, then we sacrifice on there as well. Now then we take on there. How do they stop this? Let's make sure it works. Don't just do stuff like a bomb and it doesn't work. So knight, bishop. I have to take there. If this guy moves there, then I'm lost. So I think this move is forced in a way. I have to take there. The question is, what do they take back? They take back with, say, the knight, for example. Take with the knight. Can I now take on there? Bishop back. I push, bishop takes, and it's covering the square of promotion. Doesn't work. Okay. I've got this check there. Wait, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got this check there with the idea to deflect the king away somewhere. Then I win this pawn. But does that actually win? Does that win though? So this check is looking interesting to me. I kind of like it. So we've got this check. We've got this capture. This capture that loses to h2 because my bishop can't take back, because he can take back with check and they make a queen. Making a queen is good. They make a queen and I lose. So can we check there? King there. Then we take with tempo on this guy. That looks interesting. So knight check, king back, we take this with tempo there. They can play h2, but we can defend now. They can try a move like this, but we don't have to take back. We can just drop back. But that doesn't seem like it wins though. Like, does that win? How does that win? If it does win, it looks to me like a draw. Fortunately, looks to me like just a draw. So can we take now? Then we check. Now we have to find some counterplay with this, because once again the whole investment is placed on this guy. This guy is our only hope to do something in this game. Similarly, the way this guy is the only hope as well to win. So I'm thinking we have to get rid of this guy. So we've got one check in the position. Well, we've got this check, but that just looks terrible. Because now, like, if we take back, they can push. If you go there, we can't take back because they push. So that check is terrible. The discard. This check looks interesting. For captures, we've got a capture there. Probably the only one on the board. We've got a capture there. Okay, and this one as well. But this one loses the game to this. Because we can't defend against this one. Or do we have to defend against it? If we take there, they push. Can we push? No, we can't because they go there. If you go there, the queen comes back and takes the pawn. So we can't do that. So what do we do? So this check is starting to appeal to me much more. This check. This check. Then we take the knight. This check, then we take the knight. Or this check, or this move. My candidate moves this check and this capture. This check and this capture. Which is the better move? I'm guessing they can't actually go h2 because my king is gonna win the pawn, and we're gonna be up a pawn in the end. So I'm guessing that's the best way to do anything practically. I think that's the best way. This check, because we capturing on there, they just take back. Say with the say with the knight. Then we don't have nothing because I was looking at this capture, but then after this, the bishop drops back. We can't actually push the pawn, or can we? If knight comes back now, the bishop is going to blockade on there. And I can't seem to see a way to break the blockade. So that doesn't look good. So this check is the move I'm looking at seriously now. So if we check on there. Okay, I keep getting these messages. I'm just gonna put my phone on mute for a second. So if we check on there, king up, we take, and we're going to win this pawn back. We're gonna win this pawn, and I guess in the long run we're winning. I don't know. This check is the only move. Then I guess we take the knight now. Then we come this way. Yeah, that looked, but I don't think that's the practical way to play for black. What happened in the game? Okay, he missed it. He played this, then he captured, but he missed the fact that the bishop is going to come across, and he lost an event. Did he lose? I mean, he should lose, but he's an international master, so he turned it around actually. Oh, he's losing. These guys are going nowhere. So the international master lost the game. He didn't find it. But I mean, to be fair, he didn't have much time on the clock. In this, what happened? Where is the position? Yeah, he didn't have much time on the clock. He had to find this in 44 seconds, then take the knight. So a check on there. So instead of this, you check on there, come there. What if you just go back instead? They take, You can't take a knight because you're gonna lose this guy. Nice, really nice. Okay, I'm gonna do let's get to 2400. How about that? 2400, then I call it a day. I've I'm a bit knackered myself. I've had enough. So this one is between an IM and a national master, Pernambuquinho from Brazil, I guess. Yeah, Brazil, and Vidinsk 2012 from Russia. I'm tired myself. Um, uh, get to 2400, then I guess we can call this a successful day. I mean, it is like regardless, even if I don't get to that number, but let's just end on a round number. So there's a check. Are we playing with white or black? Okay, with white, black. There's a nasty check. My first instinct is to go up there. But the whole point of this exercise is to stop doing stuff on first instinct, to calculate. In a blitz game, I would go up there, or in a bullet game, I'm just going to go up there and I'll focus on the consequences later on. But I guess if we go up there, the king has to go to f1 because we're threatening mate, or they can go to the back row, but that's bad because then we can just take back. So I'm guessing we go up there, king up, rook f2, then we take there. And what's the state of that endgame? We're up a pawn, we've got an active king, active rook, up a pawn, active king, active rook, should win. Do we have anything better than that? Good question. A bit of everything. You don't know what to expect, so you remain ready for anything, just like in real games. Nice. Go up there. Rook king f1. Do we have anything besides? I don't want to take my king because then my king is cut off. In the rook endgame, you want to have an active king. So if I take there with my king, then my king is never going to see the light of day ever again. My king is just boxed in. So I'm guessing I have to go up. Yeah. Then I check there. Then win the pawn. Nice. Okay. Oh, we're already on there. 2400. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you for everyone who popped in a message. Especially DH. I'm guessing from Germany. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you for the messages. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for also liking the video. Appreciate it. And I'll hopefully see you guys on the next one. I aim to do this much more often. To go live in some way. Either I'm playing Blitz online, or I'm doing much more constructive stuff like this. But regardless, yeah, thank you for watching. And I've got to go on to do other stuff for the day and see my friends later on today. So have a great day, everyone. Wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, probably good night as well. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you very much.